Well, today we're going to cover reading number 2 in the Reliability of Scripture series, and we're going to be covering accuracy. I love this lesson because we're really disrupting the kids' perception of what the Bible is in a major way. We're going to dig into some facts that should set them back in their chairs. Welcome to Tested is Trained, where our goal is to present Scripture and the evidence for Christianity in a way that destroys arguments and pretensions of every kind that sets itself up against the knowledge of God in order to keep our kids in the faith. The purpose of this video is to guide your preparation for this lesson. You will have the correct answers to the questions, learn key ideas, and gain some ideas for engaging your students in the discussion. The documentation of the New Testament is overwhelming in the areas that really matter when identifying who wrote the books, when they were written, and how accurately they have been passed down through time. The key takeaway is that we can be assured that the words we are reading are more than 99% accurate to what was originally written by the eyewitnesses. So as we look at these questions, question number 1, the New Testament was written by the disciples over the course of several months in Jerusalem. Well, of course, the answer to that is false. This is, of course, playing on the ignorance of most people of how the New Testament actually came about. And so we're going to be able to dig into that and really open the eyes of the kids here. So number 2, the New Testament has been altered many times by those copying the Bible. And the answer to that is false. This is a key critique of the world when it comes to Scripture, that it has been altered and that different agendas played into what we read today. Number 3, the Bible is how accurate compared to the original writings. It's interesting when you put a number to this, or you try to put a number to it, you really get an answer to how people really think about the Bible. Well, the answer is 99% accurate to the original writings, and you'll see that in the readings today as well. Number 4, we have thousands of ancient copies of the New Testament. Might surprise you to know that that answer is true. So we are gonna start digging into it, and some of the ways to engage the kids in conversation is take some time to explore what the kids believed about the Bible before they came to class. One book, was it recently written? One author, what did they think about it? Another way is you can talk about text messaging or emails sent by phone that don't quite make sense. But when you think about the context, it is easy to figure out what was supposed to have been written. The idea being that when the New Testament scholars look at something that is unclear, they get to compare it to the context of the Bible to see what is really meant. And this lesson may be a good time to do a map and timeline of the New Testament, the dates, the authors, the locations, and where it was written. So remember to use current events or relate things that are happening in your community or the lives of your kids to make the lessons real. Ask a bunch of questions. The next session is going to cover perhaps the most astonishing evidence that we have about the reliability of Scripture. You're going to learn one of the most powerful questions you can ask Christian youth and skeptics. In addition to that, we are going to answer why we should believe the authors and what did they give up in order to write and preach the words of the New Testament. Respect your kids' intellect, test their knowledge of Scripture and the evidence that supports the claims of Scripture, and you are training them to impact the world for Christ. I speak extensively and train extensively on the topic of properly training our youth, and I'm happy to consider engaging with your organization too. Please send an email to me at q@bracebarber.com. If you have any requests, questions, comments, or critiques, or ideas, please let me know. Have a blessed day.